Alright, here we go. Now I'm dipping into the medium colors. I'm starting in this medium range here. And you know what? These colors that I've mixed just by my eye look almost perfect. I'm using sort of the middle brown colors, and I'm choosing this area right in this part of the face to begin with because it goes from one of the deepest shadows to one of the lightest highlights, which is up on the forehead up here. Now the deepest shadows is here. The real deepest shadows are going to be over here on this side of the face. But the lightest highlights, because my lights from my easel are right straight ahead, are going to be right overhead. So all up in this area is going to be the lightest highlights. So anyway, I'm painting, and I'm using this ruby satin pointy round brush. I find that they're really good. They're cheap, cost about, I don't know what, $3 or $4 a piece. They hold the point till the very end. They last 2 or 3 days. Then I throw them away. But for those 2 or 3 days, they really work well. Okay. So again, I'm not using any medium now. I have medium on there. I'm just throwing colors on and moving towards a lighter area. One of the other things that I use at this stage is I have a little white pencil here. You know, I see little details that I'm going to want to remember and put them in accurately, so I just might put a mark on there with this white pencil. It goes right away, and sometimes I do that. Okay, I'm going to move up here to this real light area right now. You see that I started in medium, and I'm blending as I go. Now remember, I'm not trying to finish this painting right now. I'm just moving continually forward, almost in the same way that we did before with what I say with drawing. But I'm not trying to actually polish the painting and finish the painting right now. I'm just trying to make sure that I get the right colors. There was a time at this stage when I would try and finish the painting. I would paint it to finish. Well, I don't do that anymore because, to be honest with you, I found that it didn't really work for me. It got too slick. I find that my stroke is much more is utilized much more now. I work very quickly, and the stroke itself creates a natural texture that I find was lost during the periods when I was trying to blend it. The blending of it seems to kill the life of the painting. So over the last 5 or 10 years, I've been utilizing the stroke much more. Now, I don't know if you can see. I hope you can sort of see what's happening. But with these little videos, you really can't see the detail too much. But I'm getting comfortable with the highlights that I'm going in. Right up here to the very top where this hat thing sits is its very lightest. So that's where I'm making sure I'm going to get my lights right now, and my darkest darks of this forehead area. And more importantly, or equally as important, get them in the right place. Because even though I don't put nearly as much emphasis on likeness, because I know that I'm going to have a likeness at the end of this process, what I'm really trying to pay attention to are just the little bits, the little idiosyncrasies that make each individual different at any particular time. Okay, now I've put those basic mid colors in there and a light color. Now I'm starting to, as I'm looking at myself here and my forehead, I'm seeing, and whether they're there or not, I don't know, but I'm seeing them, so it's important. I see a little red up here, so I'm going to put a little red up there. of the red color that we've mixed. I'm going to add it to it because that's my visual experience right at the moment. Now, as you can see, I'm not blending everything. I don't ever use a fan blender or any sort of soft brush to blend. I blend everything with the brush that I'm working with. One of the things that I've discovered about myself and my painting approach is that I'm not really inclined to do any tricks or to use any special tools or anything to create artificially a texture. I try and do it all with a paintbrush. And I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just sort of my approach to it. I think that it's wonderful what painters can do with paint and a brush, and I just sort of like to do that myself. Just get as much out of the paintbrush as I can. Now I'm going to pull over here and I'm going to darken this edge over here. I've gone to one of my deeper colors and I'm heading over to the shadow side. Now, when you're looking at anything, and as you look at it more and more closely, you realize that no color is purely one thing. It's a combination of a whole lot of colors together. And the overall effect is that it looks a certain way. And what you have to do as a painter is to see beyond just the basic tones, but what are all the little tones in there that in the end reproduce a very believable thing. And for me, I'm just trying to make it as believable as I can because that's what I do. That's what I try to do anyway. Now, as you can see, I got sort of three basic things there. Now I'm gonna do just what I was talking about. I'm gonna try and add in some of the little back colors, I call them. I'm even adding a little blue over here because I see that. Now remember, rather than working back and forth to the mirror with you, to the mirror and to the painting, and I'm not doing that. I'm hoping that you'll take my word for it, that this is what I'm seeing in the mirror. And what I'm seeing is a little bit of blue right on the edge here in my temple area. And okay, now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn off the camera because I've shown you basically what I'm doing. I'm going to work a little bit more on this area, so otherwise this is going to get really slow and boring for you. So I'm going to turn off the camera now. I'm going to work it a little bit, and then I'll turn the camera back on as I progress a little farther.